Let's get this party started.
Does that mean you're ready? Like, you're annoying. I can't.
Yes.
Okay, hey guys, I'm the host of For the Record podcast, where we have the deep, therapeutic, uncomfortable, vulnerable, heavy, authentic, and necessary conversations. Of course, I'm Don Fowler. As you know, I'm a mother. I'm an educator. I'm the owner and creator of August Jones Essentials, and I'm the host of this podcast, as I just stated. This is episode 40. Whoa, huge deal. So crazy. 40 episodes in. Ryan's been here for every single one of them. So shout out to my guy. But I have some of my good girlfriends here with me today. You know, these are my favorite conversations when my girlfriends come sit down and we have like just a conversation like we would over, you know, drinks out one day or over happy hour or something, right? And that's what today is going to be like. We're talking about smart woman, dumb girl syndrome. And we'll go into what that's all about after I introduce my good girlfriends. One of them who's been here a few times. So y'all already know her. She swears she's a co-host, but she's not. She's not consistent. She's never here. No, but all right, go ahead. Introduce yourself, Moon.
Yes, I am the backstage co-host. I am Simone. I am a mother of one, and I am an educator.
Yes, she
Thank you
is.
for having me on the show again. It's always a pleasure, always good times and good vibes.
Is this your third time?
I think so.
Yeah, I think,
It's
all
my
right.
third time.
Yeah, so yes, you know I love a repeat guest. I love for my friends to come back to the show and talk about different topics. And we have a first timer, which is also my good girlfriend. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Bree.
What's going on, gang? I'm Breezy. I go by Humble Homie. I am a licensed loctician.
Yes, she is.
Newly licensed, I
Newly,
should
congratulations.
Say. Thank you. That's pretty much it. I don't really tell much about myself these days, but y'all gonna hear a little bit, so.
Yeah, we're going to hear a good amount today. Today will be exciting. So we're going to talk about smart woman, dumb girl syndrome, which is, I think, a concept maybe Amanda Seales came up with. I'm not exactly sure who came up with it. I did some research, and it's kind of arbitrary. Like, I can't really, it's ambiguous, I should say. I can't really figure out who came up with it. But Amanda Seales was on a podcast recently talking about smart woman, dumb girl syndrome. And I just like, it's just a concept that I think that we all have thought about, right? Like, we see women who are super successful at everything they do, like, on a super successful level, like a Halle Berry or a Jennifer Lopez or even like a Taraji P. Henson. Or we see all these women who are like so super successful and could not figure it out or cannot figure it or have not figured it out with love necessarily, right? And that obviously is up for interpretation. Like, it depends on what you think figuring out what love is. But I am going to just play this video really quickly where Amanda Seales is explaining and describing what she thinks smart woman, dumb girl syndrome is before we get into it.
And I think a lot of women like myself suffer from smart woman, dumb girl syndrome.
Explain that.
Oh, girl, I will leave this room. And what I consider smart woman, dumb girl syndrome to be is that we are like book smart. We are even like, we are savvy. Like, we might be
career
business smart.
driven.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we're not heart smart. So, and that doesn't mean that you don't have emotional intelligence. What that means is that like there really is a dynamic to like being in relationships with like cisgendered heterosexual men that like some women have mastered and that are able to understand. And like, if you didn't have the right people around you, like growing up, you kind of never like learned those skills, you know, like I have a lot of skills. I never had those skills. I was also flat chested till like 98. So like I was also like a late bloomer.
So a few things about what she said that we're going to differentiate in our conversation, because first of all, Brianna dates girls primarily. So it doesn't have to be with men. It's just in love, like in general, like that's first and foremost. She said something else on there that I wanted to differentiate too, but I can't. It's not coming to me right now. It'll come back. But yeah, so we're going to talk about like just what it looks like for us, what we think. How we think we can identify. Maybe I definitely think I can identify to this. Even with her saying like not seeing things growing up and things like that. Like, I want to break down that too, because I don't think that that's necessarily the case all the time. I just think that there could be multiple different reasons why it's easy, not easy, but you have more success figuring out all the different spaces in your life. and love is the space that you're having the most trouble in. You know what I mean? And I think I just want to break down that in general. So we're going to start. Our first question is going to be, what mistakes do you think you're making in relationships or in finding a suitable partner? Who wants to go first?
You go first. Go ahead.
Let's see. So mistake-wise, honestly, I feel like as of late, I lack discernment when it comes to how a person is moving, when it comes to me, how they're acting, how they're talking, you know. And I give them grace because I'm like,
Everyone deserves grace.
yeah, everyone deserves grace. They may not know what they're doing at that time. So if you can take accountability for it and, you know, come to me and be like, my bad.
Right.
I did this, that, and the third. I was wrong for it. I think we good, but I've noticed that
Is there
I've
a
dealt
common
with people.
theme? Is there a common theme of like something specifically that they do?
Yeah, they use and abuse.
Dang, like
Yeah,
financially, emotionally, like
In
how?
every aspect, honestly. I feel like I am a lover, so that's all I give, regardless of what somebody is giving back to me. Like, that's all I know. That's what I was raised on. When in family, friends, whatever kind of relationship that I had, it was always love. So that's all I know. So I think some people don't really know how to receive that and then reciprocate that.
Reciprocate.
Feel me?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been something that I've been struggling with when it comes to how I love people and how they love me in return.
Yeah. And the lack of that's actually super interesting what you just said, because it's like when you think about it, like lack of discernment, like being too empathetic maybe is the right word, or like just too graceful can result in lack of discernment.
Right.
And it's just like, it's like you got to find a balance, because you want to be empathetic and you want to be graceful with people, but at the same time, it's like you can't be so that you're causing yourself harm and not discerning who and weeding out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the people who will take advantage of that and the people who appreciate it. So that's super interesting. But
Yeah,
what do you think?
I would agree too with the whole giving people grace. Like you start in a situation where you're expecting these things, or it looks good, the intentions are great, right? You're giving someone grace, but will that grace run out, right? And if you're like Breezy said, you love on people, right? I'm always about love. I'm always about showing kindness, like, but you're not getting that back in return. It's kind of like, all right, what is the end goal? And I think the repeated relationship thing would be like, what is the end goal? Did we have the same end goal in mind? Like, what does our futures hold together? Right. Is our communication there? Do we want the same things, right? Even when it comes to children and raising your household and like your work ethics, my work ethics may be stronger than yours. And I think that the repeated relationship thing where we see, like, it's not about being toxic. It's more so like, are we in it for the same reason? Because you can love me or you can like me. There's a difference. You can love my personality. You can like me for who I am. But, like, do you deeply love me to say, like, this is what I want? And I think that may be the biggest thing with, like, dating in this, like, era that we're in now. Like, everybody's not in it for the same reasons.
Right. It's like, do you see me as an investment or do you see me as a benefit?
Exactly. And it's seasons. I say it could be seasons, right? This is the season now for, all right, I'm single, I'm having fun, but I'm not dating with an intention. Exactly. Right? And I feel like for us, like, we're around the same age. And, we're dating to marry at this point. Like, there's no playtime.
There's no more playtime.
There's no more playtime. And that's what I think the repeated relationship thing is. It's just like, you have to communicate the thing from like day one. Like it could be fun, like, right? We're going out, we're having fun, doing adult things, but yeah, like what do you really want out of it? And I think that might be the, I think for me, that may be the thing. Like we can talk about it, have deep conversations, but what it isn't for us.
Yeah, that's really interesting too. I'm happy you shared that, because I think that that's like, that is super important in the breakdown of like, even in discernment, that's like falls into discernment. I know I see women do this all the time, and I'm having to explain this to my girlfriends all the time, and I've definitely done it myself several times, where it's like I can be talking to a man, we can be dating, and I could have made assumptions about what was going on without actually asking him those questions. And even I've gotten older, and maybe I grew and learned to ask those questions, and maybe he was not honest in his answering those questions, but it was just like somewhere along the line something got crossed, and I'm thinking it's something that you don't think it is.
It's a misunderstanding, right? Where it's human nature, right? It's human error.
Yeah.
So some conversations, if you don't have it, there is a misunderstanding, because I can't assume.
Exactly.
Neither can you.
And neither can you. And men are really and this is not a male bashing podcast at all. Like, we're not here to bash men, because obviously, I think it's more of an accountability on the women's part than anything. But and because women do this too, actually, I'm not even going to put it on men or women. People can learn how to really manipulate those conversations, that communication, to continue getting what they want without having to give you what you want in return. You know what I mean?
Breadcrumb.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's something that you definitely have to be like. I always I used to tell with this one girlfriend that I have, like, she would call me and like a man would do something. She'd be like, well, what do you think that means? And I'm like, it means what happened. Like, there's don't read between the lines.
Black and white.
It's just black and white. Like, whatever he said is what he meant. He didn't mean this by it. He didn't mean that by it. He just meant what he said. Like, so just take it for what it is. Like, when a man tells you something, take it for what it is. And that's just like something I'd like have taken throughout life. Like, I don't even question it. Like, if a man can say something that hurts my feelings, and I won't question it because that's what he meant. Like, I'm not going to try to get him to soften that up for me.
Right. You can't
Like,
explain it.
no. You said what you said. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to like move forward with that. You know what I mean?
And that's what people don't do, though. Like, if I say something to you, I meant it. Whether you agree, disagree, if it was something like a hard conversation to have, I'm pretty sure what I said, I meant it. I'm not taking it back. I can explain and elaborate with you.
Yeah.
But I said what I said.
I said what I said.
Yeah.
And like, you just have to be able to, like, as a grown person, especially at our big age, right? We're in our 30s. So it's just like, you got to be able to take that on the chin. Like,
some people can't even have the conversation.
That's it.
So it's like, how do you even get off how you really feel?
Exactly.
Or for them to understand if they don't even want to listen.
Exactly. Like, you can't even actually like just communicate it. That's
a big problem.
That's a huge problem. Actually, that pivots right into my next question, because the question is, what are some red flags that you ignored and regretted later? And I'm sure that has to be a big one for most. Communication. Yeah, like a lapse in that communication. Like, if you're just having a conversation with somebody, like I've had girlfriends come to me and be like, well, I asked him this, and then the communication, like he just like, it was just like some super ambiguous answer, right? And I'm just like, that's not clear communication.
Right.
Like, that is something I would dig in more, because it's like, if I asked you a straight question and you gave me a sideways answer, I'm gonna bring it back to the straight question that I asked you. Yeah, like, please explain, like elaborate, like, so I think that is a big red flag that people ignore. Is like, if a person has a lapse in communication, then you can't do anything in a relationship if you can't communicate. Right. So it's just like, that's a big one.
How do you improve your discernment?
You talking to me?
Just in general.
I mean,
yeah.
Honestly, I just take away the lesson from the L, for real.
I love that.
It's always a lesson learned.
It's always a lesson.
I would never be like, oh, I should never done. No, I learned a lesson.
Yeah, you learn a lesson. I used to like tell my girlfriends this all the time. Like, like in my 20s, I haven't been single for 6 years at this point, but in my 20s, I was single for a long time, and I dated a lot. Like, as Simone, I used to send her my location all the time. like, girl, I'm here on this day. If I die, you know where I was last,
Right.
But for me, it was like important, because it's like, I'm not falling in love with these people. I'm going on dates and learning from these people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm learning from them, they're learning from me, and then we're moving forward with whatever we learn. Like, if we make a connection, great. Right. But if we don't, we learn something. And now, because I wasn't raised like Amanda Seales was saying, I didn't see any healthy relationships growing up, right? Like, I didn't know what that looked like. So for me, I knew in my 20s, once I've been in a couple bad relationships, I'm like, oh, I got to learn how to do this. How else am I going to learn how to do it other than to do it? Like, trial and error. You know what I mean? And so I think that is really important, like, just like getting yourself out there. People are like, oh, dating is so heavy, it's this, that. And it's just like, no, you're putting too much into it. Yeah. Just go on a date with somebody, be nice to them, be kind, be yourself. If something happens, great. If something doesn't, it's fine. You learn something from it. Just be a kind person. Leave people better than you found them. So yeah, that's a big thing for me. But so yeah, right. I think it's just learning. I think what Breezy said is perfect. Like, when learning to discern better is just learning, right? It's just like education. Like, okay, well, that person did this to me. Next time, I'm going to watch out for that. Like,
you also,
is that the only way to learn though? Is just to crash into things? And
I was going to build onto that, because I was thinking, like, you can ignore the problems, though, too, right? Say, like, something's not working out, you're getting into another situation, you see the same things, but are you ignoring them to fix them? but they can't be fixed.
Right.
Right. So if I could say like, all right, this person
been
had
there
bad
too.
communication.
Yeah.
I see it happening, but I know that I can, I've been there, done that. I'm working towards something better. Can it be fixed? It may not be fixable, but this is how the situation started.
Yeah.
So like, are you walking into these situations knowing that, all right, I know what I need to do on my end. Can that person also pull the weight? And I think that might be the thing. It's like you're trying to fix something from the beginning that may never be fixed.
Yeah.
Just ignoring those habits.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think we ignore. Back to the red flag thing. So 2 things. I do want to just say that what Breezy said to Ryan about discernment is like learning from other people's experiences is always the best way to learn anything, right? To not have to go through it yourself. But yeah, what Simone just said, absolutely. I feel like we all, like, because most of the, if like 90% of the things are great, right? But then like 10%, you're just ignoring because 90% are great.
Right.
What if like something in that 10% is something that's a deal breaker
That's a
for
deal
you?
breaker,
You know what I mean? But it's like you don't want to give up that 90%. So it's
Yeah.
like now you're still like just trucking along, and then you hit that wall. You get into that 10 percentile and you're like, oh, it still is a deal breaker. Like, it's still not going to work, And I feel like I've definitely done that where it was just like most of the things were good. So I'm like going to rock out. And then it's like, but this person still has a gambling habit that I can't get over. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God. Let's not talk about habits.
I'm just saying,
That is
it's
not
just
the
like,
topic.
I just wanted to give an actual example because,
Yeah.
because a lot of this stuff we might be talking over heads because it's just like we're
Whoa
talking very lofty, but like the reality of it is, and actually this goes into my next question, the reality of it is like there are actual patterns that all of us are falling into, and there are actual deal breakers that all of us have for one reason or another, and you can't like be like, okay, well, I love this person for every other thing that they have, but I know I cannot deal with somebody who's a gambling addict because of like my trauma and because it's just not, who would want to deal with somebody who's a gambling addict, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I can't be with them even though I love them for all these other reasons. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, my next question is, how did you learn or become aware of the mistakes or patterns that you're repeating in relationships?
I think you notice it, especially like you said, like you ask other people, whether you asking a therapist or people around you, family members, if you're still having them same conversations
Over and
over
over.
and over again.
Girl, you okay?
Right?
Okay.
So right there it tells you like, all right, then it may be me.
Yes.
Right? I am the gap.
That part.
I am the problem. So I think like thinking about it, like, because some situations feel familiar, right? It feels good. It feels familiar. So I'm gonna keep it going. But I do think that you learn it, but you have to sit back and actually reflect on yourself, right? It comes from you first. Like, yes, I could ask my good girlfriends. I could sit down with my brothers, or if there was a therapist, or just like looking at things on social media, like if that pattern keeps happening, now I got to sit back and say, it may be me.
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
the people I'm dating or the relationships I want to be in. You gotta take, it comes with you first. I
Yeah.
feel like, and that may be like the biggest thing too. Like reflection, write it down.
Yes.
Right, write it down. The pros and the cons.
Yes.
Like, the real
Yeah.
thing. Like we tell it as an educator, we tell our kids to write things down. Right, I need to write down as an adult because I'm doing something wrong if it's not working out.
Yeah. No, I love that. What do you think, Bree?
I agree. I honestly, after my last situation, I really had to sit down with myself. Like, what am I not doing?
Yeah.
To bring in the person that I want to attract, and I'm like, because I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm checking off everything on the list, being transparent, showing up the way I'm supposed to show up.
Yeah.
But then I still feel alone.
Yeah.
So it's like,
What's the point?
Yeah, so
yeah.
that was one thing that I really had to sit with and recognize about myself. Like, you just doing too much. Like,
Yeah.
you're giving too much of yourself, and people get comfortable with it, and they get used to it, and think that that's how you always gonna show up.
Yeah.
Even when your cup is empty, they still
Yeah.
expect for you to
Yeah.
be able to pour into theirs.
Yes.
So it's just like, I had to really draw back on myself and pour what I was giving to people,
Yeah.
put that into me.
I literally have become over time a very reciprocal person, right? And I remember explaining this to my boyfriend when we met, like, because he is like such a giver. Like, he will just give to everybody and eventually get burnt out. And I had to explain to him, I'm like, I'm very reciprocal. Like I wouldn't consider myself a generous person. And he was like, damn, like he just thought that was crazy for me to say. And I'm like, no, because I just realized that like me just being like overly generous and just giving, it would build up resentment. Right. And now like I have resentment towards people for not giving me back what I've given to them when they never asked me to give that to them in the first place.
Exactly. That's one thing I struggle with. Yeah.
I think we all are the same.
Yeah.
So, like I know for a fact that like Breezy would give, and a couple of the people in our circle, we give so much, and then we're like thinking back like, well, why do I keep doing this and not receive it? And that was the thing. Like I had to take that. Like I'm pouring into me now because I gave to all these men, people. Whether it was like love, affection, like just time and patience, but no one's giving you back that in return.
Right.
So I definitely think like it's not a bad trait to have.
No, it's not.
But you're going to get burnt out. Like
it's a gift and a curse.
It
is. It's a gift and a curse.
Because too much of anything is a bad thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if you are giving, not making sure you're refilled, that can become a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Because now you could be like, you could become spiteful. Like, you could just
you're not operating from your true self anymore.
Exactly, right? It's not like, I had to teach myself to like, if I, in my heart, didn't want to give something, to not give it. You know what I'm saying?
Amanda says that in that podcast. She says, like, pouring into yourself is to get my nails done.
Yeah.
Right. The simple things. Right?
Yeah.
Now, no. That is not for me. It's simple. Like I feel like getting your nails done is a chore.
Yeah.
So like I listened to the podcast because I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Like we're like, oh, take time for yourself, do what you love. But like, is getting my nails done taking time for myself? No.
Yeah.
I just need my nails done because it's a thing.
It's a thing that has to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Just like we have to wash our hair. We have to do
you have to do those things.
or make an appointment for a weather wax spot. All those things. But like, what really genuinely makes you happy needs to come from yourself, and it needs to come from outside with that partner.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I can do whatever. I can spend the money that I want to spend on things that I like. But like, do I feel happy enough with a significant other to do those things with?
Yeah. All right. So tying this into like the smart woman, dumb girl syndrome, how do you think you make decisions about your life differently than how you make decisions about like your life outside of love, I should say, right? So like your career choices and things like that. Like how do you think you go differently about those things than you go into love?
So, I mean, with me, I would say when it comes to my life, it's about what I want. You know? But when it comes to a relationship, it's not only about me. I have to think about that person. I have to consider how they may feel, what they may think, how it may affect them.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, I want to do this, but how you gonna feel about it?
Yeah.
I want to go here, but do you feel like going here? Like it'd be literally the littlest thing. You have consideration goes a long way, bro.
Yeah.
That's all you need. For real. And people lack that. So.
Yeah.
I like that consideration. I would say the same thing. Like when I think about work, I'm like, I need to be my best self.
Yeah. Because you're yourself. Your partner's not there working with you.
Not working with me. But then I gotta, the partner, I'm like, I'm asking your opinion to make sure I'm being considerate of your feelings or the choices that I make in life, especially life choices, whether you're investing in property or whatever, businesses and things like that. Like work is work. Like I'm gonna show up how I am and I'm gonna get the job done. But I feel like relationships definitely takes more effort, but it got to be an effort from both parties.
Yeah.
And I think that might be the decision we make. Like Breezy, you want us to be a cosmetologist, or we want to be educators, and we want all those things. Like we put that first, and of course, like our relationship or raising kids come second, but they all actually do come before work. I think it's more important because that job's gonna be there, right? So I feel like now at this bigger age, I think that it's important to pour into what relationship, whether it's a partner or a family relationship, is more important than that job. But we choose a job first. And we choose a job. And I think as women or even men, I think going to school, getting a good job is more important because we need the money.
Yeah.
Right? Money's important.
Hey, and money is the root of all evil for real. Like, it ain't that deep. If you want to control your income, work for yourself.
Yeah, that's a fact. No, for sure. But the crazy thing is that Ryan talks about this a lot, and you know, people be trying to say my boy.
I was about to chime in.
Yeah, people be trying to say my boy is toxic all the time. But I mean, he talks about this, and I actually am in agreement in it. I haven't figured out how to fit it into my life yet, but I'm in agreement where he's talking about how like women shouldn't work. Like, and this is why though, because maybe this is the smart. This feeds into the whole smart woman, dumb girl syndrome, right? Because if we're focused so much on all our responsibilities that we have, we are going to put that husband at home second. We are going to put our home life second because we're going to be so focused on being the best, you know what I mean, in our actual careers. And it's going to be hard for us to put that same amount of focus and energy and love
I think
into
that was
our partners.
big issue in my last relationship.
Where that happened with
Yeah,
y'all?
because I was in school
Yeah.
working.
Yeah.
So I literally had one day to myself out of the week for the last year.
Yeah.
So, it was hard, but it's like, you said you was going to rock out with me. Like, why are we not rocking out?
No, you got to ride. You got to be down to
Because I had the conversation, so you knew what was about to happen.
Yes.
The sacrifices I had to make, all of that.
Yes.
You knew.
Yes.
You wasn't unaware of anything. I was very vocal, very
Yes.
transparent about it. So,
Yes.
And
like,
that's,
come on, bruh.
Yeah. And our new relationships now have to look so different from like what they traditionally like would look like from the
They don't have to.
blueprint. Well, they don't have to. No. And what Ryan is saying is like, all right, well, if women don't work, you don't have to deal with that. And I get it, understandable, but that's not actual circumstance for most of us. Like most of us have to work.
No, it is. No, you have to work because you like things too much, and you like things more than you like people.
No.
live.
No. Listen,
You gotta
listen,
live, though.
Listen. Because you could live on one income, but you choose not to because you want nice things, right? Even a regular guy, if you both live together, he could probably afford enough for you guys to live, but you want more things, so you want to go out and work, which I get. And Simone triggered me because she said, well, I work and I do what I got to do because I have to, because I need money, right? So you need money more than you need a relationship, right?
No,
Like,
I think she's
that's not
saying we
it.
need money in
We
our
need money.
relationship.
But if I was in a situation where I did not have to work, I'm not working.
Yeah, she would
I
love to
will-
not work.
Yes,
You-
I
so
will-
you've
I
never,
will
so
take care of the
Simone,
household.
Yeah,
you've
she
never
would love
met
that.
a man that made enough to pay for the household.
Yes. But I choose because I worked hard to get where I am, right?
confused
I
now,
went back
man.
to school because I wanted this career.
What's any of that have to do with you met?
But no,
guy?
I'm not
Like,
in a relationship with someone currently that I'm doing
Well,
that
what
with.
Like, if she
happened?
was, she
if
would.
I was, if they said
you
like,
were
oh,
though,
you don't have
and
to work.
you were though, and it like you didn't.
No, that wasn't the case. Like
No,
what you're
you
saying is
said,
like this
had
somebody
I met somebody.
Yeah.
I met multiple
I see
people
what you're saying.
that could take care of a household by themselves. But it's always been like, well, you have to work too. I mean, yes, I would want to work. I'm sure being a housewife would get boring. But at the same time, if it was like I took 2 years off and just did like house things and made sure the house was tight and the finances were in order and he just worked, why not?
Yeah.
You'd be in your best energy.
I
Yeah.
would.
No, I think
would.
that's I think
Shoot, I
that's
don't never think I'd be able to be a stay-at-home wife.
you don't think so? I wonder if it's different for. I always think about this, right? Like, but no, not really, because I feel like I was going to say for lesbian couples, like I wonder what that looks like. But I feel like most of the lesbian couples I know make a lot of money, both of
Because
them.
both of them are hustlers.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I want
Yeah.
a partner that's going to be getting to the bag with me, not somebody that's going to watch me get to the bag and then expect me to give them the bag.
Yeah.
Why is the bag so important?
Hell
That's
no.
what I'm trying to understand.
Because
living in
Because
You
America.
gotta live, bro.
because everybody is upset about their relationships and they're unhappy. Their social life is bad. They don't have a lot of friends. They don't have a lot of social interactions. But then
Who are those people? That's not
Right,
us.
that's not
No,
us.
yeah.
Because
So
we
you-
go out, we have fun, we live life.
do you think
Like,
you're satisfied with your social life as far as like the relationships that you have with people?
I think so
Absolutely.
too. I
Oh,
think
okay.
like
I mean,
my
at this
work-
point-
like work life, like my outside life, I think I have solid friends, male and female friends that I know that probably would have my back or would have my back. Not
But
probably
then why does it feel lonely?
Who's lonely?
We're not
We're
lonely.
not
We
lo-
just not.
Right, yeah.
I mean, we're not lonely. We're just talking about not having actual marriages at this
Right.
point.
like none of us are married, so no one's saying they're lonely. Like whether we're single
Yeah, but don't
or
you feel-
dating.
I
You-
think
you
I
feel
think
a
you mixing the
desire.
two. You got to separate the platonic from the romantic.
No, I mean, your social life is like it's all together. I would think,
No,
right?
I-
Like,
My
you had-
romantic life
so-
is different from how
See, I think
how I
that's the
love with my
problem.
girls is going to be different from how I love with my girl. Like
Yeah.
it's not the same.
I mean, the things that you do, but I think the fulfillment from relationships and socialization is similar.
I
Right.
don't know.
Well, that's kind of my point, though. Like, if you are not satisfied with your relationships, whether it's platonic or romantic or whatever, however you want to define it, is that not a problem? Like, there's a yearning there, right? So, like, the lifestyle that we want to live is in opposition to that because I find that that's like the biggest problem because you want to get to the bag. So you need someone that's getting to the bag. And then because you're both getting to the bag, you're stressed out, you're working, you don't have a lot of time. It makes it hard to connect with other people because you don't have that much time. So
depends on what you're doing to get to the bag.
Yeah.
Some people don't have to work every day of the week to make the money that they need to live.
And I think that most of the people
this
I know.
is the most cap ever.
No, I honestly think
Dom
that.
don't got no time. She tell me she ain't got no
Dom
time
has
all
all
the
the
time.
time in the
Simone ain't got no time.
You make
I know
time
at
for what
work.
you want to make time
make time for
for.
what you
No, you don't. Not when you get into the bag. Either you make time to get
But
to the
our
bag.
time is over, right?
Either
Yeah.
I'm
no.
done work by a certain time.
Right.
That means the bag time came in front of the relationship time, though, right? Because the
No,
bag,
that's the scheduled time that I'm supposed to be getting to the bag. That's my schedule. No.
Well, if they want to spend time with you and you want to get to the bag,
That's a them
what are
problem.
you choosing?
I'm
I
choosing my
literally-
money.
yeah,
See,
I
that's the
literally-
problem.
I don't think
Is
it's
they
a-
My
choosing the
thing is,
money?
no
over,
partner gonna want somebody that's broke either.
I don't think it's a choice. I think we just have to make money. Like Ryan is
It
like,
is
I
a
think
choice.
it's very lofty for you to think that we can live off of one
You can.
income.
You
I don't
can.
think so. Not the way
Not
the way it's
today's
set up.
world, no.
Who's living off one
No, it's
income?
because
With
y'all want to drive a Mercedes, a BMW.
no,
Y'all want to go out to nice
that's
restaurants.
incorrect. I've been driving a 2015 Ford Fusion with no car note for
But
years.
what do you want to? What is?
It don't matter. I've been doing that for years. like
That's a
and-
lack of a better option.
No, not really, because I could go get a better car. I could definitely go get a better car. That's not even a question. I
No,
could go
I'm
get
not saying that. What I'm saying is like, but there's ramifications to that, right? But if you said, "What's my ideal situation?" You want all those things, right?
No, that I think this is what I was going to say in the
Oh
middle
my
of this.
God!
I think most of the
this
people
is the
I
girl
know.
to be riding around in the Rolls Royce talking about it.
Yeah, but literally, I didn't. Like I said before, I was riding around in a
cap.
Rolls Royce. I was riding around a 2015 Ford Fusion and didn't care about what nobody thought. It was paid
Stop the
off.
cap.
Like that's all I cared
Stop
about.
the cap.
Like so, that's actually not true. I don't choose to drive around a Rolls Royce. That's just because my partner likes nice cars.
That's a factor in which
And
you might like that person because they're getting to the bag.
No, literally, that's the last reason why I liked him. I don't care about.
It might be the last, but it's a reason.
Okay, maybe. I mean, it's fine. It's a nice thing to
It's
have.
an added bonus.
Yeah, it's a nice thing.
But that's
Added
not,
bonus.
like-
We're not shallow.
No,
Like,
it's not.
What are you
about
talking?
that.
You just said my partner needs to be getting to the bag.
Yeah,
and
so
now
they
you're
can
saying you're not
understand that.
shallow.
I have a
But we're
priority
both
here.
hard workers.
Like, yeah.
Right, we're both working hard.
What I was going to say is I think most of the people I know would choose somebody that they were in love with that didn't make a lot of money over somebody that they didn't like that made a lot of money. Like most of the people I know would choose love over money, actually.
I would.
Like for sure. Like most of the people I know feel that way. So I actually don't agree with that. I think that Ryan is very lofty in a sense where he's like, well, if you don't work and you stay home and take care of the man, let the man take care of the bills, then y'all could just minimalize y'all lives and be happy. And it's like, that's not the case for everybody. It's the case for Ryan because he has investments, he has this, he has that, whatever. He has the income to do that, but not everybody has the income to do that. And there are just other things that need to be taken care of. Like, like I could not work, but I mean, I still got to pay my son's tuition eventually, and I don't know, I still got a future plan, and
Right.
I just why wouldn't I make this money right now when I can make it? Like, I don't know, like it's just like everybody's situation is different with that, and Ryan's just so lofty where he's like, oh well, I don't care, I'm gonna pick up a girl from Taco Bell and bring her home and she can just clean the house while I'm working all day, and he
If
don't
she has good character, yes.
and we don't mind that
And
either,
that's the
but that's just
problem.
not our
But that's not our
circumstance.
circumstances, right? We still have to go to work. Like
Yeah.
right now, I gotta go to work.
Yeah.
I have a kid to feed, right?
If he
She has extracurricular activities, so it's like if the person makes enough money, great. But like that's communication right there. When we start the relationship, we're communicating like, if I want you to have this, be goal driven. I want you to pursue your dreams in whether the career you want, great. But if they say like, oh, like I got this, I can take care of you, why not?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like right now in a situation, we're all working. We're
Yeah.
all working, moms working, single women working, and working through a relationship. So
Yeah.
it's just like everyone has to do the work. And it's not about finances. Like that wasn't the topic about like, oh, we could date somebody that's going to hold the weight. No, like we're at this point, we're all
Especially
working.
if you're still in your building phase. Like,
And most men listening to
How
us,
long we gonna build till we 50 years old? Then we want to find a relationship? Like I don't get it. Like,
most
but
men,
look, fundamentally, my point is that getting to the bag is antithetical to building relationship. It is in opposition to that because to get to the bag for real is going to require
Right.
you to do things that make you hard to be with in a relationship mentally and just with your time. So that's my point.
I feel like not if you have a partner that understands
So now
the
you're
end goal.
but-
That's
but
why
now you gotta-
communication and understanding is key.
Right?
But now you got to find a person that understands and is able to
So
deal
that's
with the
why
fact.
you're working
Right.
towards that.
But,
Yeah.
but that's why it's so difficult, right? Because
is.
now you don't have any time for them. So what the heck is the relationship even about? Because you're getting to the bag. So what? Well, like what is it?
I know.
It's not
We don't have to talk
always
about this
gonna
no
be
more.
that
It's literally not the topic, and literally we're talking in circles. So back to the topic, because I don't even know how we got there.
Yeah,
Sorry. That, like, I don't know, but yeah. So whatever. All right. So what? What did your parents teach you about being in romantic relationships?
I think the first thing that came to me was about feeling safe.
That's good.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
Your partner should make you feel safe.
Mhm. That's so
I don't
good.
know. That's all I could think of. But
Yeah.
I thought about like feeling safe. Like that safe could be anything. Safe could be walking to Target, right? I feel safe that my person is behind me walking to Target. But I'm just saying, like, I think I was raised in a 2-family household. You know, my parents are divorced, but that also can build on like trauma, you know, in a relationship. Like, right. So if I'm dealing with somebody, I'm like, oh, I'm not getting divorced. I need to make sure I'm doing what I need to do to keep this marriage together or relationships together. So I definitely think my parents taught me to love. Like they love on each other. Like even if they're divorced, like they still love on each other because they want to make sure they feel safe, they feel protected, and their kids as well. So I think my parents just taught me. And all my brothers are in relationship. One brother's married, another one's engaged, and I'm not. So it's just like their love is there. So we haven't all been affected by divorce trauma. Could it happen one day? Yes.
Right.
But is it in this moment? No. So I definitely think that my parents definitely taught me to love hard, and that's my problem. I think I love too hard, and it's not reciprocated.
Yeah.
Let me build off of that really quickly, because and safety is so important, like Simone said, like in all different ways. But like I remember going to therapy and talking about breaking up with my longest relationship, most serious relationship, and not even breaking up with him, but like how we were going to work things out. And she made something super clear to me about safety, because I'm like, yeah, I want to feel safe in a relationship. We all want to feel safe in our relationship. And it wasn't a physical safety thing that was the issue, where that could have been an issue, but that wasn't an issue at the time. It was a financial safety. Like actually, and not to bring back Ryan's point, because let's never talk. But I didn't feel safe financially.
Yeah.
Like I didn't, and that actually, it was a cause. Like you can break up with somebody because you didn't feel safe. You don't feel safe financially with them. Like, you know, because it's just like, if you're doing things to harm me financially, why would I want to marry you? Why would I want to be with you forever? Like, you're literally harming me. That's just like, you know, allowing me to get beat up in the streets is allowing me to have a bad credit score because you're messing up the funds. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same difference. So it's just
Exactly.
like, safety is, yes, very important in all different ways. But go ahead, Bree. What did your parents teach you about relationships?
Well, first and foremost, I was raised by a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really have that male influence in the household necessarily, but I did have male influences through like close friends and uncles and cousins and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that is where I got the male aspect of how to move when it came to guys, when I was dating guys.
Yeah.
But as far as it came to women, my mother really just told me, like, stop being so nice.
Yeah.
Like, you too nice.
Yeah.
These girls, they going to take advantage of you. They going to use you. And I'm just like, Mom, it's okay. Like, I know what I'm doing. Just like, girl, no, you don't.
Yeah.
You feel me? No, you don't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's really the only thing she ever really told me was, you just got to stop being so nice. You got a big heart. You got to know who to give it to and who not to give it to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That actually leads right into my next question, because it is, how likely are you to take advice from the people around you regarding dating? And I have this question because Amanda Seales talks about it in on that podcast episode. And the guy asked her, well, do you talk to your homeboys about your relationships, and do you take their advice? And she was like, I talk to them about it, but I don't take their advice. And they
Right.
be right. Like, literally. And
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, that's a good question, because it's like, for me personally, I'll take advice sometimes. Sometimes I won't. Like, it's just really hard to, like, because you got to discern between
Right.
who you taking advice from, too. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's, like, weird, because it could, it could be weird because it's like for my aunt, and I talked about this on a podcast before. My aunt told me when I was a little girl about I was thinking about getting a perm, and she was like, people were telling me not to or to do it, and she was like, look at their hair and then let them, take advice based off their hair.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
What was their outcome?
Right, exactly. And I thought that was good advice, but it's not always. You gotta be like, it depends, but. Because it's like, if somebody's not married, are you not going to take their advice? Because that's not fair. Because people are in terrible marriages.
I've seen plenty marriages,
that come and go. So it's like,
good advice.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, it's a weird thing. So anyway, how often are you to take advice?
I think it's who the advice is coming from. Like,
Exactly.
I can ask friends for advice, but I'm going to take it or I'm going to leave it. But I really think who it is.
Yeah. Because then you also know what, that's a fact. Because you know your friends and you know what friend will be good for certain advice.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you know what to take. You always got to take the meat and leave the bones and everything.
That's like you said.
Yeah.
Always listen, but use your discernment as to how you want to take that information.
Yeah. All right. What do you think are the keys to a healthy romantic partnerships after you've been experiencing these pitfalls or not pitfalls in dating? What do you think are the keys? What are you looking for now moving into a relationship?
I'm asking you for the answer. It's a question.
Oh man, honestly,
I'm looking for.
I'm looking for me, baby. For real, for real.
Find yourself.
I want to find myself right now
Mm-hmm.
because I was gone for a minute.
Yeah.
And then once I get back there, of course, I want that perfect partner.
Yeah.
That's going to be gentle. That's going to make me feel safe.
Yeah.
Love me, reciprocate everything that basically what y'all want is what I want.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be hard for a woman to do that because we naturally want that.
Yeah.
So, soulmate, if you out there, come get me, baby. Please.
Ooh, that part.
Dating women might be harder.
Come get me, girl.
So she is single, y'all.
Yes, she is.
Very single.
Yes, she
I
is.
think I look for security, open communication, something that's lasting, right?
Mm-hmm.
That commitment piece, right? Because we're thinking about commitment, right? It can't just be for the first 30 days.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think the same goals in mind,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's important. The same goals in mind.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And then I think about it as being a mom,
Mm-hmm.
right? My relationship goals or what I want also has to reflect my child too,
Right,
and
right,
what
right.
they need, and how is that balance and things
Mm-hmm.
like that. So for me, I just think it's more commitment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
But
I don't
it's
bash
like
men
commitment in
either.
all
And
ways,
It's always
like-
commitment, and I'm not saying this about just it's not men. It could be women. It could be friendship or whatever. But yes, commitment in all different ways. It comes in all forms. And it's not even just a commitment to me. It's a commitment to what we want in life. Commitment to your household, my household, family, friends, and things like that.
Yeah.
The bigger picture.
The bigger picture. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And we gotta stop giving these people grace, Breezy.
Man,
Yeah.
y'all know my heart. Like I said, I got a big heart. I can't help it.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? I was having a conversation with a girlfriend probably a couple weeks ago, and she was like, I don't know what your mother did, but she got it right.
Yeah.
Out of everything that I've been through, she was like, she got it right. She got it right. You too nice, and you shouldn't be too nice. So yeah, whatever your mother did.
But you learn
Yeah.
that you learn it the
To her,
hard way,
like,
though.
Yeah.
Facts, I
You-
did.
Yeah, you see it and you reflect on yourself now, and I think that's really important.
Mhm.
Like we was talking about it before, you come first, and I think yes, we were talking about work and relationship come first,
Right,
whatever, Ryan.
right.
But I just think we have to work on ourselves, and that's hard because you want to show up for
As your best
your
self.
best self, but
Mhm.
you can't do that because you're going to get burnt out. And I think I've definitely learned that for sure. And I think that all my past relationship, I put that man first.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And not that he wasn't
Yeah.
putting me 1st. Don't get me wrong, but I think I worked too hard, and I'm
make them a
expecting someone to
priority.
be like me, and that's not a thing. You gotta look at that too. You can't expect someone to show up like you're gonna show up. It may never be like that. But if you're willing to try it, continue to do it. But there has to be a breaking point where it's just all right, if you're not gonna show up in the same space as me, then this is not a thing. And I think that
Yeah.
might be the hard part too, because
Right.
you get comfortable, and we all get comfortable. We don't admit it,
Right.
Yeah.
but we all get comfortable.
And it's
we're
hard
just
to get out
And it's
once
hard
you
to
do.
get out once
Yeah.
you're in it.
Yeah.
But I
No.
feel we come with a lot of values, whether you're just hardworking, you're a good person, you're kind, right? You're trustworthy, all these things. I can list things that I'm good at, but somebody else may think well, you need one more. There
Right,
needs to be one more
right,
thing on that
right.
list that I haven't seen yet, and we have to work on that. I think that as a 36-year-old woman, right? Women here.
Oh, God.
I definitely think I do work on that because I
so
always
annoying.
ask, like, I'll say things like, Dom, like, am I wrong? Like, tell me if I'm wrong, right? And I
Yeah.
can fix it. I may not want to hear it, but at least I'm asking, like, because sometimes I may be wrong.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I'm asking a good girlfriend, I need to know what that male perspective is. I may be wrong about a situation, and I just need someone to tell me, you wrong, right? You messed up. Like,
Yeah.
run it back and
Yeah.
fix it.
Yeah.
And it's some things are fixable.
Yeah.
But I just think that going forward, like, the goal is, right, to be married, to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
You can be happy and be dating, but are you really happy? Dating multiple people at a time? No.
Yeah.
You're almost there.
Haram!
What do you mean you're almost there?
Who's almost there?
She's coming along.
Come along. Things right.
You know what? That leads me into my next question, though, because my next question is, what do you believe that you should heal within yourself to be better as a partner?
I like this right here.
This is
That's a good one.
yeah, it's a
Yeah,
really
it is a
good
really good
question. Because I think a lot of this is just about self-awareness,
Yeah.
right? Like, because I also think, like, there was, like, this quote that someone had before. The crickets is funny.
Yeah, 'cause we like,
I didn't think about it. I can write this one down.
No, there was this quote before that was like, people can only meet you as deeply as they've met themselves. And I was like, yo, that's real.
That
And it's
shit is
just like,
real.
you know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like, if they don't even, like, if they haven't been that aware about themselves, like, when you get that aware about yourself, you can be that aware about other people.
other people, then that was my,
And that helps
That's
with your
what I'm saying.
discernment,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because if you go within and now you're this aware about yourself and you know what you could do as a human, now you understand what they could do as a human, and now your discernment is better, right? And that's another answer for how you can get better with your discernment. It's just going within. So that's what you was going to say, Bree? Just play it back. You'll get it after.
After. That's a good one. Wow. I think it's just self-awareness.
Yeah.
Because even in, like, if you run back Amanda's thing, she says, like, she needs to be self-aware of her actions, right?
Yeah.
We do these things.
Actions.
Stop
and
the
we have
cap.
that right.
temperament.
She is not self-aware.
No, I don't
What are
think-
you talking
No,
about?
she is working to be self-aware of what she has
She
done.
too
and
old.
we're all self-aware of the things that we do, whether it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
Right? But I think that starts with owning up to what you have done or said and
Yeah.
be able to fix it. And none of us are perfect. You know, we want a perfect situation, perfect relationship, perfect friendships, but I don't think anyone's perfect, but that's the goal. Is I need to be
I
perfect.
want perfection.
I want
Yeah.
perfection.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you bring a lot of things to the table, like, it needs to be reciprocated.
Yeah. I definitely think that,
Right.
like, he's annoying. But I think there's so many things I've had to work on, like, within myself to find, like, happiness in a relationship or whatever. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I've learned so much about myself as time's going on. And I've had to, like, unlearn so many things. Like, I've had to, like, not be so brash, right, in my delivery. That's one of my biggest things. Like, I'm, like, a very blunt person. Yes,
Yeah.
very straightforward, like, person. Like, I don't really have, like, like, I have a filter, but I don't find it, I don't think it helps. Like, I think it just, I like for somebody to just be blunt with me. So
Yeah,
I'm
don't
just blunt with
sugarcoat it,
other.
baby, 'cause I ain't gonna
Yeah.
sugarcoat it with you.
Right, because I don't want to read between no lines. Like,
Yeah.
just tell me so I just know, you know? And I'm like that. And I've learned that, like, sometimes men don't like that. It does not make them feel good, like, for you to just be so blunt and brash. And, like,
I think I have an
I had a
issue.
conversation about that. Like, why not tell me what it is now? Like, why hold on? I need to be blunt. I need to tell you exactly what it is in the moment. Because why days later am I bringing this up? There's nothing to talk about. Because I might not feel the same way I felt 2 days ago.
yeah, that's
I've
true.
always experienced, like, when I've been straightforward with any female that I dated, they can't take it.
They can't take
But
it.
it's like, why not? Because you want to tell me how you feel, so why
Right.
can't I respectfully tell you how I feel?
Yeah,
I feel you.
I don't get it.
I do
They
think
could tell
people-
you how they feel all day long.
All day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You tell
Till they
them
blue
some
in the
real
face.
shit, they gonna crumble.
I definitely think people
And
need
you
to,
so
like,
negative and
yeah,
Wow.
not negative. Yeah, they turn it into whatever.
check your energy.
Yeah,
Like-
people definitely got to do better at just being able to really, like, dish what they can take, and you know what I mean. Take what they can dish or whatever, or
Right.
however that quote goes. But, like, yeah, like, you definitely just have to be able to. I don't know, like, people be so soft. Like, it's like
Yeah.
you got to know
I
that
don't
you're.
mind a soft girl.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I've been having to
Soft in
learn to be
certain-
more soft
certain
because
Yo,
in a situation.
here's the thing: you can't. Certain traits come with other things, right? Like if they're soft, then you can't be blunt.
Yeah.
If they're hard, then they're not going to be that sensitive. And it's like people are asking for polar opposites at the same time. Like you got to pick your life, right? Like you got to pick what you want, and there's going to be annoying things that come with it. Like I was
I
talking
think
to my
that
brother.
comes into knowing your person though.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
regardless
for
if they
sure.
soft, like you can still be blunt, but just change your delivery a little bit.
Yeah, and that's
all.
literally
It's
what
it's
I believe.
adjustments to knowing your person.
Yeah, that's my thing is like the delivery thing. Like I've had to change my delivery for sure. And then just also like change like just took time to say before I said something about things like you know
think about it first.
Yeah, I had to think about it first because it's like we could be having a disagreement in the moment. Literally, like this is a good example. He wouldn't mind me sharing this. Me and my boyfriend both like we're just unaligned. Like the past couple of days, like we were just unaligned. Like he would just want to eat something for dinner I didn't want to eat. Like he wanted to go at a time that wasn't available for me. Like we were just unaligned. I would say something to him 5 times. And then he would ask me, like he didn't even listen to me those 5 times I said it. Like we were just unaligned. And then we realized that like first of all, we both have a lot going on, which is like, you know, against Ryan's point. But then we realized that like we both had like, I had a death in the family and he had a birthday of a death in his, like somebody who passed away in his family. And so our minds were just all over the place. You know what I mean? So literally like I said something to him or that was like, I didn't even say nothing to him. I just didn't want to do something that he wanted to do. And he was like, I was like, oh, my bad. I just, you know, whatever. He was like, you know, let's just talk about it in a couple of days. We both just got a lot going on right now. And I was like, yeah, exactly.
Y'all as a
We
collective
know
can
each other
recognize
well
that, yeah.
to know, like, you know what, we both just, let's not even talk about it. Let's just move forward and we'll talk about it in a couple of days. We probably won't even care about it in a couple of days.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's just like let's not argue over nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Just because we stressed or whatever. So, yeah, I think knowing your person is very important and just knowing yourself. I think you have to know yourself to understand
order
other
to know
people.
people.
Yeah. All right, last question. Juicy. Wait, I'm sorry, y'all. That's definitely a teacher text out of me. Sorry. But how would you describe outside right now?
Yeah.
I want to know Ryan's opinion on this too. But first, let's go.
Let's get Ryan's
All
opinion.
right, Ryan,
first.
go first.
I'm boring. I'm not going to give you what you want because I think you're accepting defeat if you be like, the dating pool sucks and it's trash out here. I think that's whack. Although I kind of agree. I think the culture here is bad. I think the social environment here is bad. I think people don't know how to communicate. People don't know how to talk. If you go up to a random person and talk to them, they're going to think that's weird. And it's actually not weird. So I'm a passport bro. East Africa all day.
Okay.
I'm not really concerned about dating here. That's why I don't do my podcast because I don't got nothing to talk about because this can't be fixed because I feel like people here, they want to get to the bag, money, materialism, the most important thing, and I'm not with it. So I'm out. Y'all have fun with whatever y'all want to do. But you know, yeah, I might have some festivities later tonight, but it's like I'm here till I'm here, but I'm out. So
I would say that
ladies, if y'all wanna catch up to me before I leave, you can. But if you're not, I'm not sad about it. Okay, thank you.
He's annoying. Go ahead, Wise.
No, I think that, I guess, like you said, the social dynamic is off, right? So it's like if we're outside, a group of women, you're not getting men coming up to us engaging in conversation. It's more so, what is your Instagram, right? They want to get to know you on social media first. And I think that may be the problem. Like, everything's based off of social media and, like, oh, where are you from? But not, like, getting to know me, like, talking on the phone, having a conversation. I think that's more important to me. The intimacy. Like, I don't want your Instagram. Like, if I'm talking to you or if I'm just talking to you, I may never like your pictures. Just the simple fact that everybody else is liking pictures, I need to like it. I see you in person. But I definitely think that the outside world now is they're socially awkward because of social media. So no one's just like, back in the day, used to be like, oh, I like your outfit, and then I start talking to you or where you're from, and then engage in conversation. What do you do for a living and things like that. But I don't think I'm outside enough to even know like if it's bad. Everyone says it's bad, right? They're always like, oh, it's PP in a dating pool, great, right? But I've seen some things, right? I've been there. I've been outside for a little bit, but I'm not outside like dating multiple people at a time. So I think that's the difference. Like if I'm talking to someone cool, but I'm not dating multiple people to be able to compare like what the dating world is like. Right. But I hear horror stories. Like I hear. So I don't think that I don't think it's bad outside. It's like what are you looking for? Like, are you going to Vera? This is an example. Are you going to Vera to find someone to come up to you and approach, or are you going to a cigar lounge? Are you going to a rooftop in the city? So it's like where you're at is what you're going to receive. The caliber of man that you want,
it's
what you're going to receive.
Yeah.
Like I could find somebody in Wegmans or in Target, right? But if I'm going outside in a club setting where you got women, half-ass dressed and things like that, and I'm not approached by men because men are looking at that different, but I know deep down inside when I had this conversation with men, like they don't want the girls that are naked. They want like a wholesome woman. Yeah, someone wholesome. It wholesome can mean a lot of things, like, but I'm not flashing my body on social media for attention because that's where the attention is being received from social media at this point. So,
yeah, what do you think?
Well, I mean, my dating pool is a little bit different from y'all, being as though I do date the women. But yeah, my experience has not been the greatest. Granted, it has not deterred me from still trying to find love. But they got a lot of healing to do. They got a lot of women that got demons, childhood traumas, all that they just don't want to face. And it's like you can't meet somebody and try to build on or just even, what am I trying to say? Like, build a foundation, basically.
Yeah.
If you don't know yourself, you ain't healed yourself, you ain't did the work to meet them where they at.
Right.
You know? So,
right.
Yeah, dating pool for me is trash.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. I know you said but
Ryan
it's
just
trash.
never wants anyone to accept. He's like just a war mentality always.
But what did we talk about before? Like dating, like now that people are dating, we're dating with people that are like being introduced.
Yeah,
like, I
like,
have a family member that's looking. Oh, I want to introduce you to so and so. I feel like lately that has been a thing. It's like you want to date with. Maybe
it's like old school, like setting up on a blind date or
that
something.
That is the way to go. Let me just tell you.
No, seriously, I'm not against it. So if y'all got some friends, hello.
No, that's really that's the way to go. Conversation before, like now it's to the point where it's like who you know, like you got somebody. No, I don't want to be Cupid. Yeah. But at the same time, I know I can give you like, all right, they're good for you. They come with, they come with this and that. And sometimes like, there are women and men on these dating sites, but it's just like, where's the trust there? For me, that's the hardest part. Like I wouldn't do it because like
you gotta start from scratch.
I gotta start from scratch. It's like I need to know a little surface, something on the surface.
I need like, somebody to know you something about you.
Yeah, something about you. And I think that also is the other piece too. It's like, all right, dating sites are great. I know people that are married, been married and met their partner on a dating site, or just being a blind date or something like that. But I feel like in our circle now, it's just like who you know, like you know them. That is that so and so's brother or cousin. Like I think it's something to be familiar with that makes you feel just a little bit more comfortable in stepping into that, that dating scene too.
Right. I never get a referral. It must be me because I
was just going to say, like people, all right, do not be afraid to do referrals and give out referrals because I think a lot of people are afraid to do that because they don't want it to go bad, and then those people, and then they blame you, which is very childish. First of all, like if they're blaming you, then they shouldn't.
Like, girl, why you tell me to go out with him? Because,
like, girl, goodbye.
You made the decision to go.
You made the decision to go. That had nothing to do with me. I just, set y'all up or whatever the case may be. That has nothing to do with me. Where it goes from there. Right. So I think that's very important to know because people really will get mad at you for they're not working out. Like that has nothing to do with me.
I had the opposite actually.
What do you mean?
Somebody got mad at me because I didn't listen to them not telling me to date somebody.
Oh wow. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say that. Yeah. I was gonna say that. Wait, so that's another thing. So I've had like friends and brothers and stuff like that who have been like, they want to talk to one of my friends, and I tell them, I love my homegirl, but she's not ready to date right now. Like you're not gonna be a good fit. And they've tried, and I was right, and I'm not mad. It is what it is. I told you, you got to find out for yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it is what it is. So that's a thing too. But like I don't know. I just think sometimes referrals like take it from me, are the best way to go. I love a referral. Yeah. So I don't know.
Send me
Taking
your
all
resume.
referrals.
Right.
Taking all referrals. Yes.
Yeah, I love to play matchmaker. That's like the best
I
thing.
don't.
I like
fuck?
it.
You know how I feel about matchmaker.
where's my
I don't.
referrals?
Yeah, there's no matchmaker.
Right, I don't
over
know
here.
any
ask. Don't leave me.
skinny African from Kenya.
You don't know a fit woman?
Well, Breezy.
Damn, and I'm just skinty. Like, I'm just skinty. Dude.
Well, no, Simone got a kid. She can't have a kid. She got to be skinny.
Oh, wait, these be the requirements that they be asking for?
No, Ryan's
That's what
Oh,
Ryan.
What,
okay.
being
Abs.
in shape and not having a kid is crazy? That's
She
a
got
crazy
to
I
be
mean, in this-
25.
You're
I
not
don't
really
know no
finding many women that
25-year-old.
don't have no kids yet that's straight.
And he's 35
Yeah.
years, 36 years old.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't deal with no
It's coming.
30
It's coming
pluses.
slim.
No,
and
yeah, he
cute.
wanted to be 25. I don't have no friends that's 25. My friends are my age.
I'm grown.
Right, we grown.
Like, we're grown. Like, get out of here. That's all I got nothing for you. Well, anyway.
I'm a good guy.
You gonna say
Whatever.
disappointed. I'm
See, this
crying.
was good though, guys. I think this was like a really good informational podcast.
Yeah.
Based off the times right now, I think it's a good conversation between ladies to like just sit down and just talk about how we're feeling about dating right now, right? Being single. We're all three in our 30s, not married, single, not single meaning not married. You know what I mean?
right.
Like, and this is where it's at. This is where our minds are at. We all three have careers. Like, we all three are successful outside of dating. And we're just trying to figure it out. And this is where we're at right now. I think this is a really good podcast to.
We got to have Breezy back because I want to know her experience is like.
What you mean?
What do you mean?
I'm so
what you wanna know?
curious.
What you
And I-
wanna know?
We'll save it for
I
another
agree.
podcast.
Oh, you mean you want me to come back?
I really
Oh, yeah,
want to
I'll
know
come
a
back.
woman's perspective dating women because, oh man, that's so good.
It's hard.
We'll have one.
It's
I think it's
hard.
harder.
like that.
We'll save it
It's
for
harder,
later.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll do
we
that.
can have another show. I'll even bring some girlfriends.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
let's bring
Set that up.
let's do a whole thing because I'm taking tryouts for.
So let's do it for June. we can try June because that's Pride Month. That'll be perfect.
Oh, perfect!
Yeah, we
let's
could do
do
it
June.
Sunday.
All right. I'm definitely putting that down.
I'm
I
crying.
like it. He's talking about let's get this party started. All right, so yeah, this was good. So thank you so much to my good girlfriends for coming here, ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
for
get
having
comfortable
us.
here. Come back here all the time.
I like this. I'll
You
do
know
it
what I
again.
mean? Wise been here 3 times. Simone's been here 3 times. Sorry, cut that out. And
You just burst my bubble today.
yeah, and Breezy,
Popped
we
your
popped her
cherry.
cherry.
Whoa there.
And
Whoa
so
there.
she's here. You did great, Bree. You did
Thank
so
you.
good. You did. So yes, this was a great episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, listening, liking, sharing, following, telling people about For the Record Podcast. If you haven't already, subscribe to Talk to Me Nice Podcast Network on YouTube. This is episode 40 of For the Record Podcast, and we are out.
I like this right.